Hello everyone. Hello. I hope everyone is well. My name is Nogupiwa Tembo. I'm an ESL teacher in China. I'm making this video because I want to quickly outline the process of getting a job in China because I've been getting a lot of inboxes on Facebook, people asking me how you go about in getting a job in China and what qualifications you need. So my content is going to be all over the place, but I'm going to try and make sure that I cover all the important aspects. So let me just get to it. First of all, and most importantly, in order for you to qualify to teach in China, you must have a degree. You must have a degree. It can be a teaching degree or any other degree. If you have a teaching degree, you must have 2 years teaching experience. But if you have any other degree, then you need to do a TEFL certificate, teaching English as a foreign language, or TESOL certificate, teaching English as a second language. So you need to have that certificate. But if you have a teaching degree without experience, then you must do TEFL certificate in order to make up for the experience. You also need to apply for a police clearance, so you must be a person with a clean criminal record. You must be a healthy person because they do a health check. I can't remember all the diseases that they check for, but I know they do check for TB, HIV, hepatitis. I can't remember which one, A or B. I can't remember. But they will send you a form with all the, once you get a job or once you sign a contract with the school, then they will send you a form with all the diseases that needs to be checked. Yeah. So if you have all those, the things that I have listed. So let me just highlight this because this is very important. So if you have a diploma, with PGCE, you don't qualify to teach ESL in China. You must have a degree in order to qualify to work in China. Once you have all those, there are two ways to apply. One is through a website. So you find a website that deals with hiring teachers for China, for abroad countries. So the websites that I do know that I have used are advectors.com, seriousteachers.com, and teachaway.com. Those are the three websites that I have experience with. Those are the websites that I have personally used. The second way is if you know someone who's already in China, you can get a recruiter through that person. So that person can give you details of the recruiter. It could be an email address or a WeChat ID of that person who is recruiting for that country that you want to talk to. So you can send an email directly to that person. And there are people like myself who do help people get, but for me, it's for the school that I worked for, because this is the second school in China. I was in a training center and then moved to a mainstream school. So the training center that I worked for did ask me to help them find teachers. So I wouldn't say recruit because I'm not a recruiter. I just help people connect. I help people connect with that training center and apply with that training center. but I'm not a recruiter, I'm not an agent, I'm just an ESL teacher in China. And I also have email addresses of recruiters. So I do give people email addresses of the recruiters that I know are legit, that have helped people that I know get a job in China. Yeah. So once you connect or contact a recruiter, or once you register with, register in a website that deals with recruiting teachers, then they will send you an email inviting you to to an interview, or inviting you for a Skype interview. So you must have Skype, because your interviews are going to be done via Skype. If it's China, you must have WeChat, or not really must have WeChat, but it's an advantage if you have WeChat, because they use mainly WeChat, but they understand that most people who are outside of China don't have WeChat, so they do Skype interviews. So they set up an interview with you, and then once the interview has been done and you've been successful, then they will send you a contract. It's very important that you read the content of your contract before you sign it. If there's anything that you don't understand, you reach out to people who are already in China, ask them to explain whatever content that you don't understand. There is also a group on Facebook which is called Teachers Living, South Africans Living in China. It is very helpful. It is very helpful. So if there's anything that you don't understand in your contract, you can just post it there and people will try and assist. Yeah. Most schools here in China don't book a flight ticket for you, unfortunately, but they do reimburse you after you have completed your contract. Yeah. Going back to after you have signed the contract, then you need to, well, now people get their documents authenticated before they apply. But with me, let me just refer to my experience. What I did was get a job, sign a contract, then I started the process of getting my documents authenticated, and I used an agent called Doc Assist or something, because I was in KZN and the offices are somewhere in Pretoria. So I used them to authenticate my documents for me. They have to authenticate your thingy, your your degree, your police clearance, and your ESL certificate. So I'm not sure of where exactly do they take your process to get the thingy, to get the seal, the stamp, and the letter which specifies that your document is legit or whatever. I don't know, because I didn't do it myself. I had an agent do it for me, and if someone asks me to help them with the process of authenticating their documents, I always refer them to the agent that I used. After your documents have been authenticated, then you send them to the recruiter that you are working with, or the school. If you are communicating with the school directly to get a job, you send it to them, and then in a couple of weeks, for me it was just 1 week, but I've heard that now people wait even 3 weeks for an invitation letter. Then you receive an invitation letter together with forms that you have to fill in and take to the Chinese embassy in Santin. I don't know if there is another one I've heard people saying that there's another one in Durban. I don't know about that one. I know about the one that I used, which is in Sentin, and I went there myself to apply for my work permit, a Z visa, because you must, if you want to come teach in China, you come through a Z visa, not a tourist visa, not a business visa, not a student visa, a Z visa. So I went there myself to apply for it, and it took 3 days for it to be issued. And after that, I was set. I was good to go. I was good to go. Yeah, so basically that's the process. But if there's anything that I said which is not clear or I left out, you can just type it on the comment section below and I'll respond. Now I'm going to talk about the things that you need to watch out for. Red flags that you need to watch out for when you apply for a job in China in order to ensure that the job that you are applying for or you're signing up for is legit. First of all, if a recruiter if they say that they can get you a teaching job in China without a degree, you must just run for your life. That is not legal. You are not allowed to teach English, to teach ESL in China without a degree. It's illegal. So if the school says that it's okay, they can get you a visa, even if you don't have a degree, run for your life, because you will be jailed if you are found out teaching ESL without a degree. Two, if they say that they will get you on a student visa or on a tourist visa or business visa, and then once you get to China, they will apply for a Z visa for you, run for your life. You must never leave South Africa to come teach in China without a Z visa. You will be in trouble. What else? Oh, the invitation letter that they send you, the letter that you take to the embassy to apply for a visa. You must make sure that the name of the school is written on that in that invitation letter. It must be the name of the school that you are going to work for. Yeah. And what else? Once you get to China, once you start teaching in China, they might ask, let's say you teach in a training center, for example. I'm not going to explain what a training center is, maybe in another video. Let's say you work in a training center and that training center has branches in different cities. Let's say they decide to move you to a different training center. They need to reapply for your work permit. Let me just quickly narrate a scenario that happened to me. So I came to work in a training center called Nasdaq, and they had 4 branches there. And I worked in one of their centers for 6 months, and then after that they decided to send me to a center which was in another city, but it was the same province. So what they did was reapply for my residence, not work permits, residence permit. They reapplied for it because I was no longer going to be in the city, in the initial city that I had started at. I was going to the different city. So in that city, I had to go to the police station again, get registered. I had to do medicals again. We had to go to the bureau again to reapply for a work permit. So if they send you to another city, you must make sure that they go through the process of reapplying for your work permit, because you're no longer going to be in the same city. You're going to a different city, so it is very important that they reapply for your new residence visa. Yeah. Yeah, what else did I leave out? I think that's basically that for now. Yeah, if there's anything else that I've left out, type it in a comment section and I will respond. And if you find this video helpful, please hit the like button and do subscribe so that I can keep them coming. Keep them coming. Goodbye. 再见。再见，漂亮 people.